What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. I am now. This is the first time I've had basically 4 days off in a row since for a while, for a little while. Day 4 is boring. And I know why. It's because I realized that in the past probably 2 years, I used to have so many extracurricular activities, but in the past couple of years, I have not had too many. Main things that I do for extracurricular is gym slash fitness stuff, and this, honestly, YouTube. So at this point in time, most of what I'm doing is tied to work, which I don't necessarily love because I like doing things. I like being out. Especially the weather is getting nice. I might have to just start scheduling myself different things to do. Especially things that are cost effective, because that's also part of the reason why I'm not doing as much as I'm accustomed to, because I don't have the money to do that at this point in time. But we're playing long game. Hi, Charicity. Right now, I am actually headed to the gym, and following the gym, I'm probably gonna do some walking outside. Then from there, I don't know. This weekend, though, I will say that I kind of intentionally committed myself to relaxing, and that was because I found myself in a space where I was just going 7 days a week. Work, everything work related, 7 days a week. And got to a point where I'm like, my mind needs a break sometimes. So I said, let me put the work down. The only problem is when I do things like that, I have a tendency to get lazy. So it has made me feel less on having a lot of things to do at the same time. Oh, here's the first James Harden reference of the day. Hi, Joni. The first James Harden reference. Two black guys with beards have to look like James Harden. I look nothing like James Harden, actually, but thanks. You definitely need downtime. Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of reading, and I've been reading about, well, I always do a lot of reading. I've been reading things that talk about how not resting physically and mentally can stunt your growth. Not your growth literally, but your scientifically, if we're talking about the gym, not giving your muscles time to repair and rebuild is going to prevent you from growing, getting stronger, and it's going to make you susceptible to injury. But from a mental standpoint, and from like a mental health standpoint, if you're constantly doing things that put your brain under stress and you're not giving it time to rest, it can lead to high blood pressure, health issues, health complications, or just flat out just burnout, where you just get to the point where you keep going until you burn out. And I'm somebody who has to be very careful with that, because I had that experience 12, 13 years ago when I first got my diagnosis with of anxiety disorder and everything, and depression. And the thing was, I might have gotten that diagnosis again at some point in my life anyways, regardless of what I did, because it's just, I think that it's part genetics, biology, there's nothing you can really do about it. But at the same time, it might not have been as bad, and I might not have discovered that as early if I wasn't so conditioned to just be this workhorse. Because when I first got into the working field and I was just young and fresh, the person you hear me speak about being, I always check what is you yapping about. Yeah. Anyways, the person you hear me project, or the person that I am now, comes from a time when I would go to work and the boss would tell me jump, and I would say how high. And when I did all this work that they wanted me to do, they would compliment me. You're the best, Mark. We're so lucky that we have you here. Oh, I know I can count on you. Whenever they would ask me for those overtime shifts, oh yeah, I'll do the overtime. And they were like, yes, I can always count on you. You're so dependable and reliable, and you do such a good job, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, they were not giving me a raise. They're not giving me any kind of recognition aside from compliments. They were paying me for my diligence and hard work in compliments. And then I got to a point where I got burnt out and I started getting panic attacks at work due to the fact that here I was working 60 to 70 hours a week, every single week. I wasn't sleeping right, I wasn't eating right. And so then when they caught wind that I was functioning at less than optimal, suddenly they were like, oh, I remember my boss telling me, hey, I've noticed that you seem to be having a difficult time. Is there anything that you need from us, or is there anything that you want to talk about? And I unfortunately told him about my diagnosis of my anxiety disorder and the panic attacks I was getting, and he gave me some big fake thing about how they're going to support me in any way I need. They're going to cut down the hours so I'm not doing overtime shifts, and I can talk to them anytime I want. And next thing you know, I'm replaced. I mean, I've told this story before, but that's why I'm kind of cutting it short, because I'm not far from the gym, and the story is a long story. So, hi Cass. Watching true crime video. He can be nicer. I just deleted the message. Oh, I already deleted him. Sorry. I already saw it, so he's already gone. You get a maximum of 3 strikes on my channel, but that maximum, you only get to that maximum point if I feel like it. If you're brand new and that's your first comment, then you probably won't get a second. Whereas if I've seen you here before, then you make the comment. Then I'm like, okay, I can let that one fly. But like I said, I've never seen you before, and you just come on my channel talking reckless. You just are not going to be here. And you know why I'm like that? I'll tell you why I'm like that. When I'm at work, no matter how anybody is talking to me and no matter what I feel about what they're saying, I have to tolerate them. Certain settings, there's just people that am forced to tolerate and act nice when they say stupid things. Especially in my type of work setting where you work with a population of people who are going through a lot of different issues, and sometimes they just come in there to take those issues out on you, and you can't really respond the way that you want to respond, otherwise you're going to get in trouble. So access to talk to me on this channel is a privilege and not a right. I have no problem blocking somebody, deleting them, removing them. Like, that's same thing with my social media pages. I block first and I ask questions later. Or I don't ask questions later because they're blocked. I really don't feel like being at this gym. However, I'm really trying to get back on track, so I have to be. That's what I thought. I was like, you don't know you like that, don't be rude. It is hot outside. It's at 64. It feels like 75, 80 actually to me. Okay, well, I'm jumping off for now. I might hop back on later. So, thanks for joining me. Please, if you have not done so yet, like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I drop some more great content. Later.